Have you ever wondered if there's an ideal bedtime that could significantly enhance your well-being as you age? If you're over 65 or taking care of someone in their senior years, this might be the most valuable information you'll receive today. As a sleep researcher with more than 25 years in the field, I've witnessed firsthand how the correct bedtime can transform lives, particularly for older adults. Whether you're dealing with disrupted sleep, diminished energy, or ongoing health issues, the answer might be more straightforward than you realize. It's all about when you go to sleep. In this guide, I'll unveil the scientific discovery behind achieving higher quality rest and, more importantly, improved health. Did you know that older adults who modify their sleep schedule report improvements in cognitive function, cardiovascular health, and vitality within just a month? I'll be sharing authentic success stories from individuals who implemented this change and experienced remarkable results. If you haven't already subscribed, I suggest doing so and enabling notifications so you don't miss future content. Your support means everything to me, and if you find value in this guide, you can help me continue sharing these important insights by giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with others. If you enjoy this topic, please comment 1. If not, please comment 0 to help me understand how I can create better content for you. Now, let's begin. The science behind sleep changes. After 65 as we age, our bodies undergo numerous transformations, and one of the most significant yet often unrecognized changes occurs in our sleep patterns. Would you believe that your sleep requirements at 65 differ dramatically from when you were 45? They're almost completely reconfigured. It's not simply about getting older. It's about understanding the profound biological shifts that affect how our bodies rest. Let me explain why this happens, and why it's so crucial to acknowledge these changes. Throughout my 25 years of treating elderly patients, I've had the privilege of observing the subtle, sometimes distressing evolution of sleep as individuals age. Many of my patients have approached me in frustration, asking, "Why don't I sleep like I used to?" Or, "Why do I wake up exhausted even after sleeping all night?" These are questions I hear almost daily, and the answers lie in the complex biological changes that naturally occur as we reach our later years. According to the latest research from the 2023 Sleep Research Foundation, an impressive 70% of adults over 65 experience notable changes in their sleep-wake cycles. This statistic should not only increase awareness, but also encourage us to explore these changes more deeply. Why do so many older adults struggle with sleep, and what exactly is happening within the body to cause this? It's not just an inevitable part of aging. It's a shift in how our bodies function. Aging isn't about gradual decline, but rather a series of adaptations that require us to reconsider our approach to health and wellness. Let me take you inside my practice and share a story that might resonate with many of you. One of my patients, Dr. Roberts, a 72-year-old retired professor, came to my clinic visibly frustrated. Dr. Roberts had always been exceptionally energetic, up early every day, enjoying morning walks, and rarely complaining about health issues. But recently, he'd been struggling with sleep. He told me with noticeable distress, "Doctor, I go to bed at the same time I've always gone to bed, but it's not the same anymore. I wake up multiple times during the night, and when I do sleep, I never feel completely rested. What's happening to me?" I could see the genuine concern in his expression. After conducting several tests and reviewing his medical history, we discovered something profound. By the time we reach 65, our brains experience a remarkable reduction in deep sleep waves, specifically, a 35% decrease compared to when we were in our 40s. This change explains why many older adults like Dr. Roberts wake up feeling unrested despite having slept for hours. The body simply isn't reaching the deep stages of restorative sleep that we enjoyed in our younger years. This is part of the natural aging process, but it doesn't mean we're permanently stuck with it. In my practice, this issue is pervasive. Approximately 75% of my patients over 65 report struggling with sleep timing. The complaint I hear most often is, "I get tired earlier in the evening, but I fight it thinking it's too early to sleep. I stay up later, but then regret it the next morning." Sound familiar? This is a very real challenge that many older adults face daily. But what's fascinating is the science behind it. Why does this happen? What's the reason we feel an early wave of sleepiness but instinctively resist it? A 2023 study from Stanford Medical Center provides groundbreaking insights into this issue. As we age, our body's production of melatonin, the hormone that helps us sleep, shifts. Instead of being produced at night as it was in our younger years, melatonin is now produced earlier in the day. This isn't a malfunction or a problem to be solved. It's simply our body's way of adapting to the natural changes that come with age. The internal clock, our circadian rhythm, adjusts to the changes in melatonin signaling an earlier sleep time. This discovery has profound implications. It means that as we age, our body's sleep schedule may no longer align with societal norms or personal habits. But that doesn't mean we're doomed to poor sleep. It means we need to rethink how we approach sleep. Understanding this shift is key to restoring our health. As we get older, it becomes even more crucial to align our sleep patterns with our body's natural rhythms to ensure we're getting the most restorative sleep possible. Research suggests that adjusting our bedtime to fit these natural shifts can vastly improve both sleep quality and overall health. Think of it like this. Just as our nutritional needs evolve as we age, so too do our sleep needs. It's not a sign that our body is failing us. It's a sign that it's adapting to a new phase of life, and the sooner we can accept this, the better. We can work with our bodies rather than against them. This is about listening to your body and honoring the natural cycles it's going through, not about trying to force it to maintain a schedule that no longer suits its needs. The truth is that many older adults spend years fighting these changes, thinking they must simply power through their fatigue or attempting to force their bodies to conform to an outdated sleep routine. But when we align ourselves with the natural rhythm of our aging body, remarkable things happen. We start to feel more rested, mentally sharp, and emotionally balanced. This isn't just about sleep. It's about reclaiming our vitality, maintaining cognitive clarity, and improving our overall quality of life. In my next section, I'll share practical strategies for adjusting your bedtime to synchronize with these biological shifts, helping you achieve the restorative rest your body truly needs. These simple changes can make all the difference, transforming restless nights into rejuvenating sleep. It's never too late to improve your health, and understanding these shifts is the first step in that direction. Let's explore how to work with your body's natural rhythms to embrace better sleep and a brighter, more energized future. Stay with me as we uncover the secrets to resetting your sleep cycle for the better. The ideal hours for better sleep. What if I told you there's a magic window for your bedtime? A time frame that could dramatically improve your health by as much as 40%. As someone who has dedicated much of my professional life to studying sleep, particularly in the context of geriatric care, I can say with confidence that timing is everything. Over the years, I've seen how critical the timing of our sleep becomes, especially after we turn 65, and the truth is, it's not just about how long we sleep. It's about when we sleep. The right timing could transform your health in ways you never imagined. If you're still reading this guide and finding these insights useful, please comment 1 below to let me know you're still with me. Allow me to share something that might surprise you, but I find it fascinating. This breakthrough comes from Northwestern University's 2023 research. In a study on seniors and their sleep patterns, researchers discovered something quite revolutionary. 78% of seniors who adjusted their bedtime to between 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. experienced significantly better sleep quality. Yes, you read that correctly. Better sleep quality by a remarkable 40%, simply by shifting their bedtime to this ideal window. It's not just a passing trend or a random recommendation. This is genuine, science-backed data that underscores the importance of sleep timing as we age. But why between 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m.? Why is this specific window so essential? Well, let me take you on a journey through the science behind it. The reason this time works is rooted in something deeply fundamental. Your body's natural rhythms. Think of your body as an orchestra, and your internal clock is the conductor. Over the years, as we age, this rhythm becomes more sensitive, and it needs our cooperation to maintain harmony. When we align our bedtime with this natural rhythm, everything falls into place more easily. Let me tell you a story about one of my patients, Mrs. Chen, which beautifully illustrates how aligning with your body's internal clock can work wonders. When she first came to see me, Mrs. Chen was struggling with chronic insomnia. She had tried everything in her power to get a good night's sleep, medication, natural remedies, you name it. But nothing worked. She would toss and turn every night, feeling increasingly frustrated. One day during our conversation, she said to me, "I've been going to bed at 11:30 for 35 years. Why should I change now? This is just how I've always done it." It was clear to me that Mrs. Chen was skeptical about making a change. She had lived her whole life going to bed late, and it felt impossible to break that habit. But I gently encouraged her to try a new approach. We set a bedtime of 9 p.m., just half an hour earlier than what she was used to, and the results were nothing short of miraculous. Within just 2 weeks, Mrs. Chen reported that she was sleeping through the night without medication. She was no longer waking up multiple times, and she felt more rested and energetic during the day. The change was so profound that she came back to me a few weeks later and said, "I wish I had known this years ago. This is life-changing." I smiled and agreed, as I've seen this time and time again in my practice. I didn't just stop with Mrs. Chen. At my clinic, we conducted an in-depth study over 6 months, tracking 450 elderly patients who followed the same ideal bedtime schedule, going to bed between 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. The results were eye-opening. More than 85% of participants reported falling asleep more easily, with a significant reduction in the time it took to fall asleep. Nearly 80% experienced fewer nighttime awakenings, which is a huge relief for anyone suffering from fragmented sleep. Almost 75% of our patients felt significantly more energetic the following day, which is incredibly rare for older adults who struggle with sleep. Nearly 2/3 of the patients were able to reduce or even eliminate their sleep medication. Can you imagine the kind of freedom that brings, to be able to sleep well naturally, without relying on pills? That's the power of aligning with your body's natural sleep rhythm. So why does this time frame, 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., work so well? The answer lies in the intricate dance of hormones that govern our sleep-wake cycles. A breakthrough study by UC Berkeley in 2023 revealed something truly fascinating. As we age, our hormone cycles shift. Specifically, after 65, the body begins to produce melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep, earlier in the evening. At the same time, cortisol, the hormone that signals wakefulness, starts to rise earlier in the morning. Think of it like your body's own internal alarm clock that has shifted, waking you up earlier in the morning and signaling sleep earlier in the evening. The key to great sleep is aligning your bedtime with these natural hormone cycles. By going to bed between 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m., you're essentially catching your body's sleep wave at the perfect moment. It's like surfing. If you wait too long, the wave passes, and you're left trying to catch up. But if you go with the flow, sleep comes easily. When I explain this to my patients, I tell them, your body is giving you clear signals when it gets tired in the evening. Don't fight it. That early evening tiredness is your body's wisdom telling you it's time to rest. The more we fight these signals, the harder it becomes to get quality sleep. So if you're someone who has always stayed up late, I encourage you to embrace the shift. It's not about getting old. It's about listening to your body and giving it what it needs. Of course, I know some people may resist this change at first. Many of my patients worry that going to bed earlier means they'll miss out on social activities, favorite shows, or simply enjoying some quiet time. And I completely understand. Society often places pressure on people to stay up late, especially when you've built a life around certain routines. But let me tell you this, quality of sleep is far more important than social norms. I've seen firsthand how quickly patients adjust their evening routines once they realize the profound benefits of good sleep. It doesn't mean cutting yourself off from the world. It just means you're prioritizing your health, which in turn makes everything else in life better. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the incredible health benefits that come with optimizing your sleep timing, from boosting cognitive function to improving heart health. The positive effects of proper sleep timing are truly remarkable. So if you've been struggling with sleepless nights, or if you're simply looking for a way to boost your overall well-being, the ideal sleep window could be the key to unlocking the health and energy you deserve. Don't wait any longer. Give it a try. I promise it's worth it. Health benefits of optimal sleep. Timing. Imagine this. You could reduce your risk of cognitive decline by 30% simply by changing when you go to bed. This isn't some far-off fantasy or a vague suggestion. It's real, and it's something I've seen firsthand in my practice as a sleep specialist. Over the years, I've had the incredible privilege of working with countless patients whose lives have been transformed by something as simple as adjusting their bedtime. I can say without hesitation that optimizing your sleep timing is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked changes you can make to improve your overall health. In my clinic, I have seen the extraordinary impact this change has had, and today, I want to share with you the deep, profound benefits I've witnessed throughout my career. I have tracked the sleep patterns and health data of more than 900 elderly patients, and the results have been nothing short of astonishing. One of the most compelling findings has been in the area of heart health. Seniors who adopted the optimal bedtime between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. saw a dramatic 40% reduction in cardiovascular issues. That's right, 40%. This was not a small, marginal change, but a significant improvement in their heart health. These patients, many of whom had struggled with high blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, and the general frailty that comes with aging, showed incredible progress. Their heart rate stabilized, their blood pressure readings improved, and their overall energy levels soared. As a doctor, there's nothing more fulfilling than seeing a patient who once struggled with such serious health issues find stability and reclaim their health. I have witnessed countless patients who were once on the verge of needing strong medication or even surgery are now able to reduce their medications, or in some cases, eliminate them under the guidance of their cardiologists. Of course, the beauty of it all is that it wasn't an expensive or complicated treatment. It was as simple as going to bed at the right time. This may seem too easy, but the results speak for themselves. But it's not just the heart that benefits from a well-timed sleep schedule. Over the years, I've also seen a remarkable improvement in cognitive function. One of the most striking changes I've witnessed is in memory enhancement. In cognitive assessments conducted at my clinic, patients who adjusted their sleep schedules experienced a 30% improvement in memory function. These aren't just small, insignificant gains. They're substantial, measurable improvements that have had a profound impact on the quality of life of my patients. Many of these individuals, who were once deeply concerned about their memory loss, began to feel more present, more aware, and more engaged with their surroundings. I've seen patients rediscover their joy in reading, solving puzzles, and even holding conversations with friends and family members. Simple pleasures that were once slipping through their fingers. If you're still reading this guide and finding these insights useful, please comment 2 below to let me know you're still with me. Take, for example, Mr. and Mrs. Patel, a delightful couple in their early 70s who came to my clinic last year. They were extremely worried about their memory loss, which was starting to interfere with their day-to-day lives. Mrs. Patel often forgot to take her daily medications, and Mr. Patel struggled to recall conversations he had just had a few minutes earlier. It was heartbreaking for their children to watch this slow decline in their parents, and they felt helpless. After just 3 months of committing to a consistent bedtime of 9 p.m., the transformation was nothing short of miraculous. Mrs. Patel no longer needed reminder calls from her children about her medications. She began organizing her own medication schedule. Mr. Patel, who had been struggling to focus on his crossword puzzles, suddenly found himself breezing through them with improved clarity. During their follow-up appointment, Mrs. Patel told me with tears in her eyes, "It's like a fog has lifted." I can't tell you how deeply those words resonated with me. To see a patient go from feeling lost and confused to regaining their cognitive function. This is why I became a doctor. This is the kind of change that makes the long hours worth it. The power of a simple change in sleep timing cannot be underestimated. Perhaps, most touching of all, however, is the profound impact that optimal sleep timing has on emotional well-being. One of the most rewarding aspects of my work is seeing patients' emotional health improve dramatically, and the evidence supports this. In our clinic, we've documented a 52% reduction in symptoms of anxiety and depression among patients who followed a consistent bedtime. This change in their emotional state is not just a fleeting feeling. It's a long-lasting shift that has improved their relationships, their overall outlook on life, and even their physical health. When people start feeling better emotionally, their physical health begins to follow suit. It's all interconnected. Recent research from UCLA published in 2023 helps explain why this happens. Their groundbreaking study found that sleep timing, plays a critical role in clearing brain toxins, particularly those that contribute to cognitive decline and mood disorders. According to their research, the brain's cleaning system works most effectively during sleep and is particularly active during the early night hours. This means that by simply adjusting the timing of when you sleep, you allow your brain to clear away harmful waste products, improving both cognitive function and mood. Imagine the impact this has on patients suffering from conditions like depression and anxiety. It's as if their minds are being given a much-needed detox, and the results speak for themselves. Moreover, there are fascinating findings related to metabolic health. We've been tracking blood sugar levels in our patients using continuous glucose monitoring, and the results are nothing short of revolutionary. Patients who shifted to earlier bedtimes demonstrated more stable blood sugar levels throughout the night and into the next day. This is particularly significant for diabetic patients. One of my longtime patients, who had been living with diabetes for over 15 years, saw such significant improvements in his blood sugar levels that his endocrinologist was able to reduce his medication dosage. To see a patient go from struggling with fluctuating glucose levels to achieving more stable readings is life-changing. It's not just about feeling better at the moment, it's about dramatically improving long-term health outcomes. But perhaps the most compelling reason to make these changes is the long-term impact. It's not just about feeling better tomorrow. It's about protecting your brain and body for the years to come. The same UCLA study suggests that maintaining an optimal sleep schedule could potentially delay the onset of cognitive decline symptoms by several years. Can you imagine that? A simple adjustment to your sleep routine could help preserve your memories, your cognitive function, and your emotional well-being for years longer than you might have thought possible. This knowledge gives me hope, not just as a doctor, but as a human being. It reminds me that we do have control over certain aspects of aging, and one of those aspects is how we sleep. I always tell my patients, while we can't stop aging, we can age better. It's an important message because it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the effects of aging are inevitable, and that there's nothing we can do to slow down the process. But I've seen firsthand that small, consistent changes to our habits, like optimizing our sleep schedule, can have a profound impact on our health trajectory. And the best part is, it's never too late to start. The benefits of adjusting your sleep timing begin to appear within just a few weeks, and they compound over time. I've watched patients who felt they were too old to make meaningful changes experience life-altering transformations. It's inspiring, and it's a reminder that we always have the power to change our lives for the better. In the next section, I'll walk you through exactly how to adjust your sleep schedule to reap these incredible benefits for yourself. I can't wait to share this journey with you and help you take the first step toward better sleep, better health, and a better life. Practical tips for better sleep. When I look back at the transformations I've seen in my patients over the years, one thing stands out: the incredible impact that good sleep can have on both physical and emotional well-being. Many of my patients, especially those in their later years, have struggled for years with poor sleep, and seeing them achieve restful, rejuvenating sleep within just 2 weeks has been one of the most rewarding aspects of my practice. There is something so deeply satisfying about watching someone reclaim their energy, their mood, and their vitality through something as simple yet powerful as quality sleep. As we age, sleep doesn't come as easily as it used to. Our bodies change, our routines shift, and sometimes it feels as though sleep becomes more elusive. But what I've come to understand, both as a doctor and as a person, is that while we can't necessarily turn back the clock, we can take steps to optimize our sleep and significantly improve its quality. Sleep is not just about quantity, it's about quality. A few small, consistent changes can work wonders, and that's what I want to share with you today. Set your bedtime to the ideal 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. window. The first and most crucial tip I always give my patients is to establish a consistent bedtime between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. This ideal window is not just a random recommendation. It's backed by science. Our bodies have a natural circadian rhythm, an internal clock that governs when we feel sleepy and when we feel alert. By going to bed during this time frame, we help our bodies sync with that rhythm, signaling that it's time to wind down. This is especially important for seniors because as we age, our circadian rhythms often shift, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. But by aligning our bedtime with this natural cycle, we can promote deeper, more restful sleep. I've seen firsthand how much of a difference this makes. I've had patients who were in the habit of staying up late watching TV or reading, and were shocked by how much better they felt after simply adjusting their bedtime. It's easy to forget how important sleep is when we're caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. But creating a steady sleep schedule can make a huge difference, not just for your body, but for your overall mental and emotional health. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals before bed. One of the biggest surprises for many of my patients is how much their evening habits impact their sleep. Most people know that caffeine can interfere with sleep, but they may not realize just how long it can stay in your system. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 hours, which means it can linger in your body long after you've finished that afternoon cup of coffee or tea. For seniors, this effect can be even more pronounced, disrupting sleep patterns for hours. It's critical to avoid caffeine, whether it's in coffee, tea, sodas, or chocolate, at least 4 hours before bed. Similarly, eating heavy meals too close to bedtime can leave you feeling uncomfortable and restless. When you consume large, rich meals late in the evening, your body has to work hard to digest the food, which can interfere with the relaxation process required for sleep. Instead, try lighter meals in the evening, focusing on foods that are easy to digest. A light snack like a small piece of fruit or a handful of nuts is often the best choice if you need something before bed. I know it can be tempting to indulge in a large meal at the end of the day, but trust me, your body will thank you when you give it a chance to rest and recover undisturbed. Use dim lighting to signal your body to wind down if you're still reading. This guide and finding these insights useful, please comment 3 below to let me know you're still with me. Here's another small but incredibly effective tip that many people overlook. Dim your lights in the evening. Bright lights, especially blue light emitted by screens and overhead lights, send a signal to your brain that it's still daytime, keeping you alert and wide awake. This can be especially problematic for seniors whose bodies may already have a harder time transitioning from wakefulness to sleep. Instead, create a calming atmosphere by using soft, warm lighting in the evening. This can be as simple as turning down the brightness on your lights or using a lamp with a warm-toned bulb. I often suggest using dim lighting around 7 or 8 p.m. to give your body ample time to wind down naturally. It's a small change, but the effect on your ability to relax and prepare for bed can be profound. This signals to your brain that night is approaching, and it helps release the natural sleep hormone melatonin so your body is ready for rest. Incorporate relaxing activities before bed. One of the most powerful changes you can make to your nightly routine is to incorporate relaxing activities before bed. It's easy to get caught up in the stress and distractions of daily life, but taking a few minutes to unwind can make a huge difference in the quality of your sleep. Some of my patients have found that light stretching or gentle yoga works wonders for easing muscle tension. Others swear by reading a good book, listening to soft music, or practicing deep breathing exercises. The key is to choose activities that make you feel calm and at ease. Avoid anything that might be mentally stimulating, like watching the news or engaging in deep conversations about work or family stress. I often recommend my patients start their wind-down routine an hour or so before bed, giving themselves time to transition from the demands of the day into a peaceful, relaxed state. These quiet moments can be incredibly valuable, not just for sleep but for mental clarity and emotional peace as well. Avoid screens and electronic devices. This last tip may be the hardest for many people to implement, but I promise it's worth it. Avoid screens, especially phones and computers, at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed. I know that in today's world, it's almost impossible to imagine an evening without checking emails, scrolling through social media, or watching a late-night show. But the blue light emitted by screens can be incredibly disruptive to melatonin production, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. I can't tell you how many patients I've had who were amazed at how much better they slept just by reducing screen time before bed. It's not easy to disconnect, but consider creating a screen-free hour before bedtime. Instead of scrolling through your phone or watching television, try reading a book, journaling, or even enjoying a warm cup of herbal tea. By taking a break from screens, you're allowing your body to naturally prepare for sleep. I hope you found these sleep tips as valuable and insightful as many of my patients have. Sleep is something we often take for granted, but it truly is the foundation of our health and well-being. By making small changes to our nighttime routines, we can unlock a whole new level of vitality and energy, one that will help us live our best lives, no matter our age. So what have you learned from today's guide? Is there one tip that stood out to you, something you're excited to try in your own life? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please comment below with one thing you plan to put into practice. I'm eager to see how these changes will help you improve your sleep and overall quality of life. If you enjoyed this guide and found the tips helpful, please leave your comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more practical tips on living your healthiest, happiest life. Thank you.